encouragers. Okay, so the question was, what is your main philosophy that you bring to the server on an OOC level? My main perspective on an OOC level is that I believe the server is a really good platform for content creation and creativity. Sometimes those two things can feel like they're separate. You see that a lot with people talking about content server versus like roleplay server. And I think that's kind of dumb because I think that's just chat being tribal, and I think that's people being tribal, which I think is more of a negative thing, okay? My perspective is, and I try to bring this to the server, that I think you can make of it what you want. Meaning, if you want to have good interactions and such, I think you can find that. Does that mean sometimes that you're going to run into people that don't have the same perspective as you, that don't share the same outlook as you on roleplay or the directions you're trying to take things with your character? Sure. But I think my perspective that I try to bring to the server is that you can adapt and you can create with anyone. And I think that the best role players on the server are able to do that. And I think that my goal is to make the DOJ and court cases and such a place where I try to bridge the gap between people who have different mentalities, because oftentimes that happens on the server, right? Oftentimes, like, for example, like the court case that I would point to as like the most like clear example of that is the John Paul and Unopsych getting charged for terrorism, right? So you've got a lot of these cops who are pushing like a very serious charge, and you've got, you know, XQC and Saikuno, who are very large content creators whose fan bases are very much focused on like, you know, very, you know, quick entertainment, right? Very like ADHD, very like no, like YouTube shorts, right? And I think that the people that play cops, there are some of them that are like that, but I think there are also some of them that are more like watching a documentary, right? Or watching like a telenovela, right? Like a more slower, not slow pace, I hate that term, or slow burn or whatever, but it's just a different speed. And I think my goal, what I bring to the server, is to try to bridge the gap between people. Because me personally, in my life outside roleplay, I've always been a chameleon, kind of, where I could get along with anyone. There's been times in my life where I've hung out with, you know, fucking actual hood ass gangbanger types. There's been times in my life when I've hung out with complete gamer nerds constantly. There's been times in my life when I've hung out with very serious professionals and finance types. I mean, I am the kind of person where I thoroughly believe that I can get along with anyone and find common ground with anyone. It's just about trying to be open to it. And I think that's something that I try to bring to the server. Now, are there times that I've failed at that? Hell yeah, there are. There's some things on the server that I really struggle to connect with. I struggle to connect with serial killer RP. I struggle to connect with like relationship RP, right? There's some things on the server that I am just not good at being a part of. And so for the most part, because I'm not good at being a part of them, I kind of shy away from it because I don't want to like tell someone else what to do, right? And I don't want to be a person who puts down someone else's stuff. Do I have my own personal feelings about things? Yes. Are they relevant? Should they be said publicly? Are they appropriate? No, they're just personal feelings and everyone has their own, right? But it's kind of that if you don't have anything nice to say, keep it to yourself type vibe, right? So it's like my overall point of view is that I want people to try to get along, and I want people to try to coexist in a way that can be positive and adapt to each other. My understanding right now is that there's a lot of people who don't feel they can do so. A lot of people feel like they cannot coexist with other people on the server, and they feel like their goals and their understanding of roleplay on the server are so disparate and so contravened that they are unable to find common ground.